Welcome to the Pinfall Podcast. I am your host, Liz. I am joined, as always, by my co-host, Marcus.
Oh, very
Happy Wednesday.
concise intro this time around.
I had to basically just re-pierce my ear, so.
Oh, that's fun.
Yep. First time I've ever needed a mirror to put my earrings in.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine.
Everyone like my new shirt. This is how Liz is feeling. Feeling great, right?
Yeah. Feeling fabulous. Didn't even get a chance to pee, but I'm feeling a certain type of way right now.
That's good. That's good.
Anywho, happy Wednesday.
Mm-hmm. Happy Wednesday. It's NXT. It was a great show today. I didn't deal out the average for this yet, but it was a great show with the return of Ridge Holland, with Dakota Kai turning on Raquel Gonzalez, and there was one other thing. Let's see.
Joe coming back.
Yeah, Joe coming back and challenging Karrion at Takeover, kind of indirectly challenging him.
No, because the whole point was that he said, I want you to reinstate me as part of the active roster, and I want to fight Karrion at TakeOver.
No,
That was
yeah,
part 3 of the 3-part thing.
yeah, but he didn't directly say to Karrion's face, "I challenge you." That's why it's indirect.
Well, at this point, I don't think it matters.
Yeah. But yeah, great episode. Bunch of great matches in here. The first one was fantastic. Last one was fantastic. Hit Row and Imperium was great too. A lot of just fun stuff throughout. We saw Carmelo Hayes again. We got a long golfing set of promos from Cameron Grimes and LA Knight. LA Knight. And we got set up for next week. Dexter Lumis versus Johnny Gargano. Love her or leave her match is what they're calling it.
Yep.
Yeah. For once, it's like not like how I suggested yesterday, stupidly, that Raw would do like two women fighting over Corey Graves. Carmella and Eva Marie would fight over Corey Graves. This is like the opposite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it.
And it'll be a great match too.
Yeah, I'm sure. We also haven't seen Dexter wrestle in a minute, so.
Mm-hmm. Last time we saw him wrestle was against Santos Escobar a few weeks ago.
Also, fun thing that I was just dealing with prior to starting the episode. Discord's doing a fun new thing where the audio feed from this call will come in through my AirPods. Everything else does not. So, like, if I get a Discord notification, it's through on my computer speakers.
Maybe you need to use Discord in a different browser, because it might be the same reason why it's freezing sometimes.
I don't know. Maybe. Because I went and I disconnected and reconnected.
Mm-hmm.
And I could hear all my notifications in my AirPods, but I couldn't hear you then. It was like a one or the other. And I've never had that happen before.
That's weird.
Yo, season's not treating me well, Mark.
Yeah.
But happy birthday to Roderick Strong.
And Triple H. Oh wait, Roderick Strong. Is it his birthday?
Yeah, isn't his birthday?
No,
His
Adam
birthday
Page.
was. It's Roderick Strong's birthday passed.
Mm-hmm.
Like, wishing him kind of like a belated happy birthday.
Well, today is also Adam Page's and Triple H's birthday, and Dolph Ziggler's birthday. Oh,
a whole
didn't catch
platter. I hate repeating myself.
Yeah.
I said it's a whole gambit of men.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Whole bunch.
I mean, like they're all very different people.
Oh. I thought you meant it's just a lot of men.
It's a handful of men. There's actually been a lot of birthdays this month,
Mm-hmm.
or rather, this Leo season. I feel like it became Leo season. All of a sudden, it was like, happy birthday to this guy, and happy birthday to this guy, and this, and I was like,
Could have anything to do
thank
with
God I'm
like
not a wrestler.
maybe it's like they're Halloween babies. They were conceived on Halloween.
Like holiday season babies. 'Cause we're almost in the 8th month.
Yeah.
Like Thanksgiving babies.
Thanksgiving. That's a weird day to conceive a child.
Yeah, that's not a fun day to conceive a child. Ugh.
That's why I say Halloween. Seems better.
I think those are cancers.
That's mean.
You're gonna say that.
So you want to start with the news now that we're 22 minutes in?
Yeah, sure.
Nice, concise news day.
Yeah, there's not a ton of news by any stretch of the word. Pretty sure I'm back to receiving Discord notifications through my laptop.
That's fun.
I can find out by doing. Okay. If I mute myself and I can hear it, then I know. So first things first. Let me open up my phone. Okay. So first thing to talk about is the wrestler Jose Luis Alvarado Nieves, also known as Super Porky and Brazo de Plata, passed away at the age of 58.
Man, that's
Apparently,
young.
yeah, that is not old. No one really knows what happened, but basically he was briefly in WWE as part of SmackDown Juniors division, which I didn't even know existed. He made his debut as Brazo de Plata and then joined CMLL in 1985, and he worked there for 20 fucking years.
Wow.
So that is a long ass time. And then he went to AAA in 2009. So, our condolences to the family. All right. So let's talk about Natalya. Dave Meltzer said that it seems like her injury is probably, which means we have lost another women's tag team.
He said it's probably serious.
Yeah. As in, like, not something that's just going to go away in a week.
Right.
So
Let's hope it's not bad enough that they have to vacate the title to one of the two teams. 3.
yeah.
But that would make a good SummerSlam match. Kind of triple threat tag team match.
Yeah, that's true.
What is it? Shotzi number, Shayna, Nia, or
Shotzi and Tegan.
Shotzi and Tegan, Nia and Shayna. Oh, so it would just be them.
Oh, there's someone else.
Eva Marie and Doudrop.
Yeah.
Okay.
Perfect.
Yeah, I could easily see who'd walk away with it. Nia and Shayna again.
Yeah, they're stronger than ever.
Yeah.
Also, it seems like we know Randy Orton is going to be back. It seems like he will be back for next week's episode of Raw. He's being advertised locally for that episode. And I mean, that could always change, but if he's not injured, then I think it's safer to assume.
You say Bronson Reed is that who'd you say is slated to? Oh, Randy. I don't know why I thought Bronson. I like zoned out for the name you said.
I like that I didn't have to say anything for you to finally figure it out.
It clicked.
And it seems like they are going to build for RK Bro to challenge for the tag titles at Summer Slam.
Yeah, I mean at the house shows they've been doing, it's been Riddle versus AJ Styles, so that's a clear indicator enough that that's what they're planning.
Yeah. I'm excited to see him back.
Yeah.
I miss him.
Yeah.
And also, speaking of dates, it seems like the planned dates for Queen of the Ring have been revealed.
It's
Apparently,
today.
according to Andrew Zarian, the plan is for the tournament to kick off on October 8th, which is SmackDown, and then October 11th, which is Raw.
Cool.
I'm excited to see how they're going to make a bracket out of the 12 women that they have.
Maybe they'll have some NXT women in there.
Maybe.
But also, 12's enough. I mean, what? For the NXT Breakout Tournament and the Dusty Rhodes Cup, you had 8? Not 8. Yeah, 8. No, that was a tournament enough for the Dusty Rhodes and this Breakout tournaments.
This is between SmackDown and Raw. At least last year. Last time they did King of the Ring, it was a Raw versus SmackDown bracket. So.
Well, I could see it. Well, they'll probably have like one of each of the tag teams, so that's 9 right there. Tamina, assuming Natty's not able. That's 10. Charlotte, Nikki, Asuka, Naomi, Rhea. They've got the numbers. Now that they've made some call-ups. Tony Storm. Zelina.
Yeah.
Could see Zelina winning it. Or Carmella.
Yeah. I would like to see somebody new or somebody returning.
Imagine Eva Marie wins.
I feel like Carmella shit, I'm sure.
Carmella seems like a good contender to win it.
Yeah. Because it's kind of a nothing title.
It's a nothing title.
Except you can gloat about it.
She would also, I feel like, be really good with the whole queen vibe.
Maybe. Final piece of news. Snoop Dogg and WWE are collaborating. I think it is just kind of interesting. Yeah. Apparently, in the lead up to SummerSlam, on the WWE Champions 2021, there's going to be an in-game event hosted by Snoop Dogg. The in-game event features an all-new 1990 Snoop Dogg joining WWE Champions roster of more than 300 WWE stars and legends in the game. So, I just thought that was interesting, because didn't he just work with AEW?
It was like last year.
Yeah, but still.
Yeah.
You would think that, like, he'd be put on, like, a Vince's do not contact list.
No, I mean, he did Sasha Banks's walkout, and he's such a huge name, you know. Mercedes. What's her last name?
Vernado?
Mercedes Vernado. Something like that. Varnado.
More like Mercedes
Tornado.
Anti-vax.
What?
I said more like Mercedes anti-vax. Shit. Got him.
Any more news?
No, that was it. I told you that was the last piece.
Okay. Alright, let's get into the matches and promos. The recap for today's episode. And there will be a lot to go through, because this was a loaded episode.
Let's see.
And immediately, we start off in normal NXT fashion with a match. Tommaso Ciampa and Timothy Thatcher versus Pete Dunne and Oney Lorcan. Peter Dune.
Peter Dune.
Love the chants from the
fun
crowd.
little time. They were chanting Thatcher's name, and I was like,
They're chanting Toothless Timmy. But they were also chanting You suck to Oni Lorcan. Which is mean.
Stinky. I just remembered I've got my Tim Thatcher shirt, so I do have an NXT shirt.
Yeah. You were complaining earlier that you didn't have one now that Finn moved up to the main roster.
Alright, Tim, forgot that you existed for a solid.
Yeah, and you have the Undisputed Era shirt. That's still NXT. Its grave is an NXT, so it will be forever NXT.
It is a comfy ass shirt.
Yeah.
Okay, so we start with Tim and Pete. We get a wrist lock on Pete. Pete gets Tim down to the mat, throws him into a calf crusher before transitioning to like holding hands.
Oh, that's cute.
I wanted him to transition into a move because like that the line I wrote was really smooth, but then they just kind of went like this, and I was like, all right.
You'll have to vocalize what you're doing because you froze for a second.
Well, I was just miming them holding hands. Tim then shoves Pete down. Pete like bridges to avoid. He does that thing where like he bridges and Tim like pushes him down and he bridges back up. It's the whole thing. Actually, it wasn't quite the whole thing because like the whole thing is like then like Tim kneels on him and he bridges up with Tim on top of him. He did not do. We get an armbar and Pete turns it into a calf crusher again. He goes to transition, but Tim pushes him. Tim tries to get the single leg grab on Pete. Pete turns that into like a triangle hold on Tim's leg. Tim then pushes Pete away. He tags Tommaso in. Oni gets in as well. Oni pushes Tommaso into the corner, gets a few chops off. Tommaso responds with chops of his own. He sends Oni from the ring, and Pete goes to intimidate Tommaso, but Tommaso just like shrugs. Like, oh. It was kind of funny. Which I hate him.
Well, this is when Pete was kind of staring him down, right?
Right.
He just shrugged, and then what did he do? He did something else before getting in the ring.
Was thumbs up?
No, it wasn't a thumbs up. Did he just like point in the ring? Because I keep thinking back to when Adam Cole blew a kiss to Bronson Reed. It was like kind of something in that vein, but it wasn't.
Yeah,
it wasn't
I don't remember what
kiss.
it was.
Oh, it was so funny too. Like I was cracking up.
And that was the part I actually saw.
Yeah.
I don't know. He gets Timothy back in. Tim starts pulling Lorcan's arm behind his back, transitions into nearly an armbar. Oni won't allow it to get locked in. Ciampa gets in. He stomps on Oni's fingers. Pete gets in. Scroll. And then they do that thing where like they run past each other a couple times, like ships in the night. It's very poetic. And then Pete just fucking turns Tommaso inside out with the club. Just fucking takes his fucking head off. Then it doesn't really affect Tommaso that much because we get Tim and Tommaso doing their stupid synchronized beats on the chests of Pete and Oni. Oni takes Tim ringside. Pete starts breaking Tommaso's fingers. Tommaso and Tim, however, end up throwing Pete and Oni into the barricade together as like a little team. Post commercial break, it's Pete and Tim. Pete tags in Oni, pulls Tim backwards so his chest is like exposed, like his arms get pulled back like this. And Oni chops the exposed chest. We get an uppercut to Lorcan, however, respond to by Lorcan with another uppercut. Both men are looking fucking tired at this point. Tim looks like he wants to tag out, but Lorcan stops him. We can step up Enziguri to Oni, and every time fucking Tim does this, I'm like, you don't belong up there. It just doesn't make sense. But I love that he's trying. No. This helps Tim get Ciampa in. Pete gets in. Ciampa does that thing where he clotheslines Pete over and over, and then Oni, and then he goes between the two. And then he double clotheslines them, and it's a whole fucking ordeal. Pete and Ciampa start exchanging blows, though. After that's all done, we get a German suplex to Ciampa, and then a double stomp on his little fingers, and then a kick upside the head. He goes for the bitter end, but Ciampa gets the Fujiwara armbar. Lorcan tries to stop him, but Thatcher gets Lorcan in an ankle lock, pulls him from the ring. And then Ridge Holland comes in. He's back. He just fucking swats at Tim. Swats at him, sends him to the ground.
Yeah.
And we get a bitter end to Ciampa to win. And then Ridge Holland just fucking beats up him.
Throws him into the turnbuckle.
It was like a one-handed throw too, and I was like,
He like kind of dove at him.
Yeah, it didn't look quite like it was supposed to be what it was.
Yeah.
But it worked.
Mm-hmm. So after that match, we had a little vignette from Carmelo Hayes. He says, I took Kushida to the limit. This is my opportunity. When this tournament is over, there's only going to be one on top, Carmelo Hayes. Then we get a promo from Hit Row. Swerve says, Santos, I've been meaning to get my hands on you. B-Fab starts speaking Spanish. She says, you got no backup. Top Dollar says, we're the new kings of the jungle. Then Ashante says, we have jokers like Imperium talking spicy now. Pause, rewind, and watch your mouth. Swerve says, if you didn't know, now you know. And then we get Samoa Joe walking out to the ring, sets up a table and a contract and a chair. Says, Karrion Kross, I could come out here and bark about you. I'm aware you're a gutless coward to I'm aware you're too much of a gutless coward to be here. Instead, I thought I'd be proactive. Regal, may you join me in the ring, sir. Regal walks out. Joe says, Regal also doesn't have a mic, so this is all Joe. Joe says, I understand you're angry. What Karrion did was reprehensible. Tonight you're gonna fire Karrion. But Regal, listen to me. I have a better solution. I have a way to satisfy both of our needs. Just implore me. With this paper, I tender my resignation to NXT management. I quit. But with this, and your signature, you reactivate me as part of the active roster in NXT. With a little bit of hesitation, Regal signs it. Joe says, of course, I said this was a 3-step process. With this paper, we will make official Samoa Joe versus Karrion Kross for the NXT Championship at TakeOver 36. Regal takes much less time to sign this one. They shake hands. And that's the end of that. No Karrion. No Karrion. I wonder if there's a reason for that. Probably because he was too busy on the main roster, and I don't know when they taped this episode and the next one. But we probably won't be seeing Karrion for the next one. So we then get a little vignette from Josh Briggs. He said there'll be 2 things left in this tournament: bodies and dreams. We then go to LA Knight and Cameron Grimes golfing, and Cameron Grimes is LA Knight's caddy. How long you want me to wash your balls for? How does it look? So he spent like 30 minutes washing LA Knight's balls. It's fine. Give me my driver, dummy. I'm your driver. The club, dummy. Drive that thing on out there. As you being my caddy, dummy, you need to know that these clubs, this one looks different from the others. LA Knight, dummy. Whatever you want, sir. And LA Knight's in the middle of his drive, and Cameron Grimes says, $1,000 you hit this into the trees. He's like, that's stupid. He's about to hit it again. 5,000. LA Knight says, I'm trying to concentrate. Sorry. He whacks into the trees. He says, you owe me $5,000. LA Knight just orders him, go get the ball, dummy. Then we get Carmelo Hayes versus Josh Briggs for the NXT Breakout Tournament.
This was a fucking match.
Yeah, it was pretty decent.
This, I think, was a match where we almost saw Carmelo Hayes eat shit, I think. We'll get into it. But I think Briggs almost like fucking kills Carmelo.
I'm forgetting the part. But anyway.
Let's find out. So there's an immediate body slam to Hayes, who looks a little fucking frightened. He kind of like takes a step back, like, okay, didn't expect that. They're exchanging blows for a little bit. Hayes wants to Irish whip Briggs into the buckle, but he won't budge. Briggs picks up Hayes. Hayes wiggles free, hits him with a pump kick before taking him down a couple notches with some body shots. We get a drop kick that brings Briggs to his knees. Briggs then absolutely launches Carmelo from the fucking ring, like throws him. Like Drew Gulak thrown onto the ground, bounces kind of throw. Never forget that moment. That was fucking horrible. Felt so bad for him.
Yeah.
Carmelo though he gets Briggs back in the ring, or he gets back in the ring. Briggs, I think, like followed him out. I don't remember the transition here, but I think Briggs followed him out. Hayes got back in the ring, and Briggs was like halfway through the ropes. Carmelo did a couple of fucking things before hitting this like springboard reverse leg drop, as Wade put it, on the back of Briggs's neck. I've never fucking seen that before. That was wild.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Carmelo Hayes reminds me of someone, and I cannot place it.
Are you thinking of Big Shoddy Lee Johnson?
No, I am not. However, thank God that he's okay too.
Yeah, that was a mess.
Not good. We get a guillotine on Briggs. Briggs drops Carmelo, slowing him down considerably, though. We get a splash onto Hayes. Briggs then goes to powerbomb Hayes, but Hayes wiggles free, hits the enziguri to Briggs, and then a second one. He goes for a springboard forearm, gets that. We double knees to the face of Briggs, and then Hayes looks like he's about to suplex Briggs, who counters to do the same thing, but Carmelo avoids that suplex. Carmelo hits a boot to the face of Briggs, but it's literally nothing compared to the boot that goes straight into Carmelo's face and practically through him. It looked like kicking a fucking beanbag.
Well, that's just him selling it real well. Because, I mean, he did a backflip. It's not exactly the normal physics for getting kicked in the face.
Oh, also, Duke Hudson was there.
I have to water myself.
Nice. First day with the mouth?
Mm-hmm. You betcha.
It's my favorite dad joke to make. But yeah, Duke Hudson was there in his little pink shirt. He's like, you know.
Okay.
It's just... Anyways, I fucking hate him so much. Such a cutie. Briggs gets a choke slam onto Carmelo. Carmelo does not stay down. Hits the tornado DDT to Briggs, and then a leg drop down onto the back of Briggs' neck to win. And Duke Hudson slow claps for Carmelo because he knows he's about to get his ass fucking kicked. And I am... I get... This could go two ways. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
It could go the way that I would like it to go and would kind of show that NXT is an enlightened brand. Yeah. Which would be Carmelo does not win.
Yeah.
But I think Duke Hudson's gonna get his ass kicked in next week. Or not next week, the week after.
I don't
think he is.
I don't think so, because I've said this before. Whoever wins this title is somebody who would need it in order to get over. Carmelo Hayes
or wins his competition.
Right. Carmelo Hayes does not need it. I mean, he's already over his shit. Duke probably doesn't need it either. So I could see him making it to the finals. Probably against like Joe Gacy or something, and Joe Gacy wins.
I guess my fear here is that, to use him as an example, but not, I'm going to miss him. I don't think we're going to hear Josh Briggs anytime soon. I don't think that we're going to hear of, what was his name? Chase Andrews or something? The guy we saw last week that almost fucking landed on his goddamn noggin.
Oh, Andre Chase.
Andre Chase, thank you. Brian Danielson him. I don't think we're going to see him anytime soon again. So
probably just 205 Live. But actually, I could see Carmelo Hayes beating Duke and going on to beat Odyssey Jones in the end, which would solidify him as like a real top contender for a title. And he'd probably go against Samoa Joe after taking on a massive dude like Odyssey Jones, and make it actually a real competition. You know?
I don't know. I kind of worry that Carmel is going to win it. Because he doesn't need it.
Yeah. But...
and that's why I'm saying NXT would show that they're more enlightened if Carmelo doesn't win. Because he doesn't need it.
But think of it from this perspective. It's a way for him to prove that it builds him up for a match with Samoa Joe if he beats someone like Odyssey Jones. Or Odyssey Jones can just win the whole thing.
Yeah.
Because everyone else can just go to... Everyone else can just go to 205 Live except Odyssey.
I don't believe Duke. He's 253 pounds, so I don't believe that he will be on 205 Live.
Okay. Maybe it's one of those two. Either Duke or Odyssey. I don't know. It's hard to make guesses right now. But I almost guarantee next week Joe Gacy's beating the other dude. I don't remember his name. Trevor something, I think. Something
Trevor
Noah.
Trevor Noah. He's gonna be there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, actually, I thought I remembered it, but now I don't.
Yeah. Joe Gacy's gonna win, and then it's so up in the air who's out of Carmelo and Duke, who's gonna win there. Between Odyssey Jones and Joe Gacy, who's gonna win that? It's a tough competition. I
think there's reason to suggest that Fuck. I hated the name so much, now I can't stop saying it.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's reason to believe that Duke Hudson, we will see more of him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because we already kind of saw him before this.
He's gotten so over. He's got great in-ring technique. He's got incredible charisma. And he's unique.
Yeah. He's different.
Yeah.
And the thing is that he's different, but he's not that different. You can kind of still get him.
Yeah. I wish we'd see more of Ikemen Jiro. Shame he's probably gonna be relegated to 205 Live.
I guess the answer is we've got to watch 205 Live. I mean, Ikemen losing is actually kind of one of those things that gives me a little bit of hope for how this competition's going to go.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, Ikemen's a pretty big guy on 205 Live. I kind of thought that he would at least get to the finals.
Yeah, I mean, he's already
or the semifinals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, based on that, the winner, it will be someone who would need help getting over.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe Duke Hudson will win it all, and then I'll be screaming my goddamn head off.
Yeah, it might be Duke versus Odyssey.
One uppercut.
And one uppercut. Dave and Goliath. Alright, so after that match, we had more of LA Knight golfing. Cameron Grimes is commentating Knight's swing. LA Knight says, "Shut up, dummy. I'm going to hit this ball." He hits it in the water. "Aha, it's 10,000 now." "You know how to swim. Go get it." He goes to get the ball. Ted DiBiase then rolls in and is in a golf cart. He says, "Guys like LA Knight are going to hang you out to dry. You're better than this, Cameron. You'd be more upset if I didn't go with this. You were born to be a champion. Don't lose your pride. You have to fight for what you believe in. Think about that." And then that's the end of that, and we go to an interview with Ridge Holland. He's asked why he did what he did. He said, "It's none of your business. Thatcher is the first person I smashed. Won't be the last." And then we go to Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez in the ring. Raquel says, "Last week I crushed one of the most feared stars in the women's division. I have dominated every person who has stepped up. Who's next? All I have to say is keep them coming." And Dakota's like fired up. Like she is like hot through this whole thing.
This, for some reason, this promo, before we knew it was happening, I explained it to you, it made me like frightened.
Mm-hmm.
Because her intensity, I felt like you do like when you're on a roller coaster and like your legs go kind of like jelly.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, Jesus fuck.
Yeah.
That's how I felt during this. I was like, get yelled at.
So Dakota then says, 18 months ago you debuted. You've been unstoppable. What I tell people is my best friend is the most dominant woman in NXT history. More dominant than Charlotte Flair, Asuka, and Shayna Baszler. You have defeated former champions in Io Shirai, Rhea Ripley, everyone else in your path. Do you know why the NXT women's division is one of the greatest? It's because of one woman. She doesn't name the woman. NXT TakeOver is 4 weeks away, so let me ask this. Who is woman enough to challenge Raquel Gonzalez? Which woman knows in their soul they have what it takes? There is no one. We have been through so much together. As long as I have your back, you will be champion. And once she threw out that line. And then Raquel turns her back. And Dakota attacks her. Swift kick to the face. And then holds up the title. Playing a dangerous game doing that, Dakota. I swear to God. Careful how much you touch that thing. It's cursed. But luckily it's not the go home, so there's still opportunity for her to not touch it.
This this gave me so much anxiety because I thought that it was obvious that she was going to be betraying Raquel here.
Mm-hmm.
And then she didn't. We were like, oh, she's gonna. And I was like, no, they're playing her music. It's not gonna happen. And then she did, and I was like, so good. It's about time that Dakota stops being a fucking lackey and gets her time in the sun, because she deserves it.
Yeah. And it's about time Raquel Gonzalez is called up to the main roster. She's made for the main roster.
Yeah, because she bores the shit out of me sometimes.
Exactly.
Happy travels to Raw.
Should be good on SmackDown.
I think she'd go to Raw because that's where Charlotte is. And it's big woman versus big woman.
I don't know.
Amazon versus Amazon.
I could see a great match between her and Bianca. Her and Bailey. So after that, we had a promo with Adam Cole. He said, last week, Kyle O'Reilly was screaming my name. Last week, Bronson talked about how I am going to be his rebound. Adam Cole is not a rebound. I am the top of the mountain. I will make you fall off my mountain. There is a reason you lost your title. You're not good enough. And you talked about this fairy tale of your life, but tonight will be another sad chapter being written. And then we get Zoe Stark and Io Shirai together at a practice ring. Zoe says, we're tag team champions. We should be training together. And Io says, we're not friends. And Zoe Stark says, not friends, just a partnership. And Io says, I don't like you. And Zoe says, yet. You don't like me yet. Let's go hang out. Trust me. And Io says, okay, fine. Zoe says, I promise you won't regret it. I like this little dynamic that they have. Like, Zoe really trying to have Io just warm up to her.
It's like, we're getting this in Raw, and we're getting this on NXT, and I love it. This is my favorite trope of just, like, I want to be your friend, and the other person being like...
Who's doing this in the main roster?
Mustafa and Mansoor.
Oh. You also have RK Bro doing this.
I don't care for that one.
Oh, Randy's doing such a good job, though.
Who?
The Snake. Alright, so up next we have a little shot of Mandy talking to Gigi Dolin and JC Jane. Was it JC Jane? Yeah.
JC Jane.
Camera pokes out a little bit. Mandy says, excuse me, get out of here. And that's it, I guess. I guess Mandy's a manager of those two. Something like that. And then we get Casey Catanzaro and Kaden Carter versus Frankie Monet and Jessie Kamea.
Yeehaw, pokes. First of all, I want Jessie Kamea to literally stomp on my face. I didn't realize how tall she was until that one promo that we saw earlier. Mark also didn't realize, and we both thought that she was sitting on something.
Standing, or yeah.
Yeah. No, she's just fucking gigantic. Incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, so we start with Kamea versus Kaden. We get kicked to the hamstring of Kamea. Casey gets in, but not before a dropkick to Kamea from Kaden. Casey pulls Kamea's legs down, and then Kaden tees off her. Casey then moonsaults back into the ring, onto Kamea's back. Jessie, however, gets a big boot to the face of Kaden once Kaden is back in. Frankie then tags herself in. And Kamea does not look pleased about that happening, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah, I what I'm seeing the dynamic is Frankie obviously has like her ego and everything. We saw that in the walkout, but Jessie's kind of trying to adapt to it. Everyone's kind of trying to adapt, and I assume it's going to come into play the power dynamic between Robert Stone and Frankie Monet.
Yeah, I think so. I'm interested to see where this is going.
Mm-hmm.
So Frankie's in. There's a back elbow to Monet from Carter, and then Monet DDTs Kaden. We get double knees to the face of Kaden and the snapmare. Double knees to the face of Kaden. Kamea got in, I think at this point, hit the snapmare to Carter. Monet gets back in after that. There's a kick to the spine of Kaden. Monet whips Kaden into the corner. Kaden takes Kamea off the apron, sends a boot to the face of Frankie. But Frankie ends up with, as Jimmy would put it, ground and pound. Just pummeling the shit out of Carter. And then Robert Stone throws something in the ring. I didn't catch what it was.
Well, they talked about this like kind of right before the match, where Vic Joseph was like, "Is he holding like a purse or something?" And then Wade Barrett went, "It's a very expensive man's clutch. It costs more than both of your salaries combined." And he throws that into the ring, and Frankie, like, he tells Frankie to use it. But the ref, like, he does it right in front of the ref. The ref takes it, and she's like, "What the fuck? Why did you do that?"
Yeah. So he does that, but he doesn't even want to use it anyways.
Mm-hmm.
I just wants to win, the legal way. But because she's distracted, Carter gets a chance to kick her in the head. Casey gets in, hits the 450 splash down onto Frankie to win.
Yep. Not the best match. But it wasn't bad.
It was a better Frankie match.
Yeah, but it wasn't. She wasn't the reason it was better.
Fair.
But after that, we had an interview with Roderick Strong and Malcolm Bivens. And Roddy says, "When you compete at my level, this game is 90% mental and 10% physical. Everyone knows my 10 is better than everyone's 100. That spells disaster for you at Sacrifice."
He was like yelling out numbers, and I was like, Roddy, no, my brain only thinks of one thing when wrestlers talk numbers.
Oh, fuck yeah, that's great. And then Malcolm Bivens says, "Roderick is one of the best performers in this industry. He's not a 4 or 3 or 2. He's a 1. 2021, out of all the people, who would have guessed that it would be Malcolm Bivens to bring him back?" And then he's asked about the money match between Roderick Strong and Bobby Fish. And he says, "Do you like money? Whoever said money can't buy happiness is a liar. Money can get you everything you want. There is a money matchup. Roddy versus Bobby." And then Roddy says something in the camera that's addressed to Bobby. I forget what it was. It calls him Bob. It's kind of lame.
The way he says Bob, too, was
Bob.
just like, Bob. I was like, I don't just say it like that.
And then Bivens says, "Oh, no. Roddy says, 'Next week, Bob, when I finish you, this is over.'" And Miriam said he tweeted he's gonna hashtag squish the fish next week.
Roddy!
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Also, maybe I'm pandering here.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know my audience. But Tyler Rust
What about him?
comes back after 3 months, and I still don't get to see him in the fucking episode.
Oh, Liz. Honey. Oh, I hate to break it to you.
Stop!
The spotlight's on Roddy here. Oh.
I'm just gonna curl up and cry. I just want Tyler Rust to get what he deserves, which is literally everything.
So after that, we had an attempted interview with Dakota Kai, but she runs away from the camera to her car. Honestly, same.
Yeah.
But then we get Imperium versus Hit Row tag team match.
All right. Obligatory Marcel Bartel, goddamn you. I'll start there. All right. So we get Ashante and Marcel first. There's a dropkick to Marcel that causes Marcel to quite literally bounce. And then he hits Marcel hits a pop-up chop. I don't know. He throws Ashante up in the air and then chops him, which is a pop-up, so.
Yeah.
And then he hits this weird ass fucking scoop slam type move. Gets Fabian in. Fabian gets the arm drag to Adonis, who ends up turning things around with several body shots. It's the neckbreaker on Fabian. He goes to send a boot to the face of Eichner, who catches the boot, swings him down to the mat with a clothesline. However, Ashante is able to scramble to his corner, gets a top dollar in. Also, because my brain moves faster than my hands, I have written, instead of Top Dollar, Todd.
Todd Dollar. There you go.
So many times. And I'm like, Todd, yes.
Hey, Daddy.
Exactly.
Daddy.
So Fabian goes to crossbody Top Dollar, but gets caught. Top Dollar then hits like this jumping knee that knocks Fabian on his ass. Adonis gets in. Top Dollar lifts Eichner, and Adonis drop kicks him off the top rope. We get a belly back to Adonis though. Bartel comes in, throws Adonis into the corner, and B-Fab comes through, distracting him, which I totally get, and I understand it. I would also be distracted.
This was interesting. Like, this distraction, it wasn't your normal type of distraction. Because normally, a distraction would happen to cause, like, a sneak attack or something. But Swerve was on the outside, fucking with Fabian. Fabian. No punches were thrown. The distraction was just so that Ashante could recover. And so that he can just gather himself.
Yeah.
It wasn't for a sneak attack or anything. It was really refreshing.
Yeah, that's fair. I didn't really think about it like that. So. We get a boot to Adonis, but it's caught. Then we get a big spine buster to Marcel. We go to commercial break, we come back, there's the little Imperium team dropkick that they do to Adonis. Marcel gets in, he hits some knees to the face of Adonis, goes for their tandem finisher, but Adonis ends up head scissoring Fabian. Marcel also gets taken out. He stops Adonis from tagging out twice. Adonis attempts an enziguri, but Marcel ducks it. Eichner gets in, and while Marcel has a calf crusher on Adonis, Eichner hits with a drop elbow. We get a backbreaker to Adonis, some hard right hooks, and then a double underhook. Adonis dumps Marcel ringside, lets Eichner out as well. Takes his sweet fucking time. Gets dropped all in. Dog gets nasty back body drop to Marcel. He boot Marcel. Eichner gets in, gets squished in the corner. There's a drop elbow on Eichner. Marcel stops the pin. And then Adonis, I don't remember what Adonis did, but he nearly killed Fabian at one point towards the end.
I can't remember the name of it, but he kind of lifts him up and falls back with him. It's a common move done. It's kind of like a flatliner.
Like a slam?
No, it was kind of like a flatliner, but like if you hold their bottom half, like their legs and their waist.
Okay. So Fabian basically almost falls on his head though during this. And then just in time, Joaquin Wilde and Raul Mendoza here to save the day. Imperium get their tandem offense onto Adonis to win, and then Legado decide to beat the shit out of Top Dollar, which was actually really incredible to see because Top Dollar is a massive man and he was like cowering in a corner.
Yeah, but they showed the cracks in his armor. Very, very large armor. After that, we had a promo with The Way backstage. Candace says, maybe it was your fault. And Johnny says, how was it my fault? Indy says to Johnny, can you tell Candace it was your fault? Indy is then, or someone knocks on the door, and everyone turns like, Austin? Austin? Indy's handed a wrapped gift. He opens it, and it's a painted picture of the Way family with Dexter. She shows it to them, and Johnny says, no, hell no. He is never going to be a part of this family. He doesn't deserve you. Indy says, you haven't given him a chance. Johnny says, he will have no chance. Indy says, you and Dexter in a match. He's like, what? If he wins, you give him a chance. And Candace is like, okay, all right, but if Johnny wins, you're done. No more of this. Everyone agrees. Johnny is like a little scared. But I have a feeling Austin's officially out of the way.
I get a funny feeling because the match with Dexter kind of overlooks Austin altogether.
And I think he was missing from that drawing.
Yeah, well, Dexter put himself where Austin would have been. That was the point.
Man, this sucks. I mean, if Theory is given, like, if he's given kind of the reins on the main roster a bit and can kind of, you know, pull some sway and kind of do the stories that he wants, he's gonna be great. But if they do the same thing they did with him last time he was on the main roster, he's gonna suck. Let him do funny stuff. He's really good when he's funny. But I feel like a lot of that had to do with him and Johnny having such good chemistry. Man, makes me sad.
I know. Now I can go back to hating him.
We'll see. Because what I imagine, like, he just goes to SmackDown and is like now a part of like the bloodline somehow. Or a part of the Hurt. Oh, he could be a part of the Hurt business. That could be good. It won't be funny. But him and MVP might get some good stuff out of him. But based on where that dark match went, he might just be in a tag team with what's his name? Harry Smith. I think that's what Davey Boy Smith Jr. I think they're calling him Harry Smith or Henry Smith.
I think it's Harry.
Harry. If that's all it is, then kind of lame. But after that we had LA Knight golfing some more. But in come the grizzled young veterans, soon to be recognized as golf champions. It's been a while since I've done that. They come in. Yeah, we haven't seen much of them at all. Nice to have them back. They say
I did miss James Drake's hair.
and Zach Gibson's lack thereof.
I really need to buy one of their scarves.
Yeah, they're nice scarves.
Actually, because I don't know where my Liverpool scarf is anymore. So.
I've never seen you with that Liverpool scarf, so it's not anywhere here.
Well, it's a decorative scarf.
Right.
You don't wear it really.
Yeah, I know.
But
I've never seen it here.
I had it in college.
But they say, hurry up, mate. Cameron Grimes says, hey, I'm his caddy. Just because he did hit it in the water and he hit it in the trees and may owe me money, he won't be disrespected. If you want to play, start back at hole 1. They say, how about a little side bet? The next person to sink the ball in the hole doubles the 10 grand. Cameron agrees, and LA Knight says, don't talk for me ever, dummy. Alright, we'll double the money. And then he hits it into the water, and he turns to Cameron and says, this is your fault. If you can do it better. Cameron sets up the ball and the tee, but on his backswing, he hits LA Knight right in the junk, swings it, hits him in the head, sinks it into the hole. This is a miraculous shot. He hit a gold ball, by the way. And then he says, Mr. Knight, look what they did to you. And LA Knight says, it was you. GYV drive away. Cameron just says to the camera, I love golf. Who knew it could be this fun? This is so fun. This is so good. And then finally, to end the night, we had Bronson Reed versus Adam Cole, baby.
And what a match this was not.
What do you mean?
I mean, it was a short match.
It was like, what was it, like 15, 19 minutes? Somewhere around there.
Maybe 15?
Started at like 9:55-ish, went to I think 10:10.
Yeah. 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 And I think this was just a farewell Bronson Reed, we need to get rid of you somehow match, because I think he's getting called up, so.
No more tsunami. Tsunami!
We'll still get the tsunami. It's just
no Wade Barrett screaming tsunami.
maybe Jimmy will.
Or Pat. No, because like when Bronson had his match against Johnny, it was like all SmackDown people that were like, we'll be watching this match closely.
Okay. Let's begin. A shoulder tackle flattens Cole. Cole starts tweaking the knee of Reed. He goes to jump up on Reed, but Bronson just swaps him down. Cole gets pancaked into the ground, and then Reed hits drop elbow onto Cole. Cole and Reed then go up top, but Cole is fighting back on Reed, won't let him get the superplex. Wants the Panama Sunset.
Panama Sunrise.
He wants the Panama Sunrise bomb, but can't get it. He slips down to do so. Cole then super kicks Reed in the hamstring instead. Gets a leg submission and then kind of like does that thing where like you slam the person's leg into the ground. Which I just call leg DDT, and I know that's not the thing.
Oh.
Not it. It's not what it is. But so he starts stomping Reed's knee before standing on his ankle and then his knees again. They're exchanging blows. Cole gets whipped into the corner and splash. We get a senton onto Cole. Reed goes for a vertical suplex, but Cole escapes and gets a big enziguri, which was, as Mark put it, a leg slap and a half. And once again, as Mark put it, Reed then gets the Cole then gets Samoan torpedoed.
That's what
Mark
I'm dubbing it. It was a spinning Samoan drop, but I'm calling it the Samoan torpedo. You can thank me later, Bronson. Give me some credit.
So Cole hits the shiniest wizard on Reed, gets a pump kick, and another. Blows a kiss. Gets a third attempt. Reed catches it. He catches Cole, sends some chops into him. But we get the Panama Sunrise to Reed. Looks fucking nasty. And then a near last shot, but Reed avoids it. Powerbombs Cole, goes for a tsunami. No one's home. Cole hits the super kick and the last shot and wins.
I thought Bronson would win. I really did.
No. He's getting called up.
Yeah, but
And it's good for him.
They might want to make him look good before calling him up.
But this is the same thing that happened to Damien.
Yeah.
Remember when he shouted at Karrion Kross, "I'm still standing, bitch"? Because that moved me. In a way.
Yeah. But Adam Cole 100% is beating Kyle at TakeOver. 100%.
Oh, yeah. Well, do you want to talk about that? Because I didn't.
Oh, yeah. So after the match, Kyle comes out with a chair and attacks Adam Cole and suplexes him onto the bottom stair. And, yeah. That's it.
An homage to what Cole did to Kyle.
Even though he already had his payback, because I think he already did that to Adam Cole once already. But yeah, Adam Cole 100% is winning. after this match. What was the last match? Kyle fought Austin Theory. Yeah, Cole's winning. All right, so that's our recap. You want to go into bests of the night?
Yes.
And then you have a question for us, leave it in the chat if you're watching the live show. Leave it in now, and we'll get to it after the best of the night. So we have it in the chat to turn to immediately. If you're watching on YouTube, leave your question in the comments, and we will read it on the next episode.
It can be about anything. It can be about wrestling. It can be about our cat's favorite food. It can be about our favorite food.
We've got an interesting question from YouTube, so. And if you're watching on YouTube, join us at the live show, twitch.tv/The Pinfall Podcast. All right, so promo of the night. This one's tough. This one is so tough for me. Because it's between Raquel and Dakota or Cameron Grimes and LA Knight golfing. One was so funny. Especially with the GYV stuff. You know what? I'm gonna give it to Dakota and Raquel. That part was so gratifying. It was great.
That promo made me feel something.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I have to choose it.
That's fair. All right. So that's our promo of the night. Wrestler of the night now. I know who I'm gonna pick. I'm sure you don't agree.
Okay.
Well, okay. Wait, never mind. I'm tied between two. Now that I think about it. So I'm gonna go through. I'll give you a chance to think about who you want. So from the first match, Tommaso Ciampa and Timothy Thatcher versus Pete Dunne and Oney Lorcan. I'm going with Tommaso Ciampa. He was such a joy to watch in this match. He did such a good job with in the ring, and then showed off his personality, especially with the whole stare down with Pete. That was a really good moment. Yeah, I very much enjoyed watching Ciampa in this match. After that, we had Carmelo Hayes versus Josh Briggs. I'm going with Carmelo Hayes. He was fun to watch. He sold a lot of Josh Briggs' moves very well. And I can't wait for him to be in a big match in the future. Like face Samoa Joe eventually, because he's such a talented wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
Then we had Frankie Monet and Jesse Camilla versus Casey Catanzaro and Kaden Carter. I'm going with Casey. Casey pretty much carried this match. Jesse just got beaten down a lot in the beginning. Frankie, I still haven't warmed up to her. I don't know. I'm not convinced yet. And Kaden had some soft moments. But Casey's always like impressive with her flippy shit. And she's got really good chemistry with Kaden, so it rubs off in the ring. After that, we had Hit Row versus Imperium. This one was tough. I wanted to go with Top Dollar, but I think I'm going to give it to Ashante. Ashante was really impressive in this match, especially lifting up Marcel, man who's fucking large, and Ashante is a cruiserweight. And his personality just flies off the screen. He is so good. He's very loud. What? Oh, the thing you were doing with your hand, I thought it was like getting ready to like disagree or something.
No, that was just me flexing my hand.
Okay. Then finally, Adam Cole versus Bronson Reed. I'm going with Bronson Reed. Bronson really showed his stuff in this match. With that Samoan torpedo. He sold Adam Cole's stuff so well. Like, he did such a good job with just the selling alone. Like, he looked like the perfect mix of like beaten down but also big enough to be able to carry on, because he kept like trying to put up his hands to keep fighting but was acting like a little dazed because he was kept getting targeted in the head. Yeah, he's such a good performer, and I really hope he goes to SmackDown so that they can properly utilize him. So my pick for wrestler of the night, I'm gonna go with Bronson. Bronson made a really good reason for why he should be a top guy in the main roster, at least in the ring. He's gonna kill it on SmackDown if he goes there.
Okay.
We also never got Finn versus Bronson before, I don't think. That would be fun. Do you agree? Okay. Now, match of the night. I think you'll agree with me here, but so we're going from worst to best, in my opinion. We'll see if Liz agrees. So, with a 4 out of 10, my least favorite, Casey Catanzaro and Kaden Carter versus Frankie Monet and Jessie Camilla. This match is it was fine. It served its purpose. A distraction that serves the story, but wasn't too exciting to watch. Then with a 5 out of 10, Carmelo Hayes versus Josh Briggs. It was a decent match. I'm excited to see more of Carmelo. Josh, it didn't impress me too much.
Yeah.
It was a pretty good match. Then with a 7 out of 10, Imperium versus Hit Row. I thought this match was great. Really good bout between these four. Just pure wrestling. And then when B-Fab did that distraction for Ashante to recover, I was just impressed by that moment. It was like the booking in that. And then Legado coming in was I was honestly a little like surprised by it, to be honest, but I didn't hate it. And giving an Imperium a win was a good decision. I think I want to see Imperium versus MSK like very soon. And then next, also with a 7 out of 10, Adam Cole versus Bronson Reed. Really fun match between these two. Like, this was a ton of fun. Bronson showing off his stuff. Adam Cole just being Adam Cole. Every match he does is at least great. And this was no exception. And finally, match of the night. Tommaso Ciampa and Timothy Thatcher versus Oney Lorcan and Pete Dunne. This was a fun match. This had so much just off the walls with all of the spots in the ring, so much tag team chemistry, tons of character moments, and then Oney and Pete getting the win was pretty surprising. I thought this was really well done. Plus, Ridge's return was a great surprise. It was great from top to bottom. So that's match of the night. Do you agree?
I actually do. I really enjoyed this match.
I
didn't expect this to be the one you chose, though.
Really? Did you expect me to pick Adam Cole and Bronson Reed?
Yeah.
What sold me on the tag match was the amount of character moments in it. From Pete Tommaso, Thatcher.
Mm-hmm.
Oni not so
Yeah.
much, but
Okay, don't be mean to Oni. He's a good boy.
I love Oni. But yeah, this was a great match, and it's our match of the night. And before we get to the Q&A, I'm gonna run it back. Promo of the night: Dakota turns on Raquel. Wrestler of the night: Bronson Reed. Match of the night: Tommaso Ciampa and Timothy Thatcher versus Oni Lorcan and Peter Dune. Alright, so we've got a couple questions for our questions segment. From Miriam. I'll do Miriam's first, then we'll go to YouTube. Do you guys think Walter is going to drop the title at TakeOver? And I guess regardless of whether he drops the title or not, do you think we'll see more of Imperium as a unified group again? Or do you think Walter's going to show up for TakeOver and then just go back to holding it down at NXT UK? Can I answer this first? Oh, you can answer if you're excited to answer it.
I think he's dropping the title.
Yeah.
And I think there's a chance that he might come over here.
I think
there's a good chance.
I think it's likely. But I think the reason they're having him drop it, like if they were having it just on NXT UK, I don't think he'd be dropping it.
Right.
But because they pushed it to TakeOver, that might mean the injury is more long-term than they think, or than they originally thought. So maybe they'll have him out for a while, then and have him go against Samoa Joe, which that would be an amazing match. Walter versus Joe for the NXT title.
That's gonna be. That would be sick. But yeah, I think he's dropping the title. I think the only person that makes sense at this point is Ilya. So,
Yeah.
I think he's dropping, and I think there's a chance that he might come over here because Imperium's getting back on their bullshit, and I think that's the perfect time for Walter because like, what else is he fucking doing? Like, how is he leading Imperium when he's founder?
Yeah, and I mean, Joe will be taking down the most dominant NXT champion in history. And since Karrion wiped out the entire division, the only person who could combat him would be another extremely dominant champion in Walter. And that would make an incredible match. Like, match of the decade. Alright, so this is a funny question from Milam on YouTube. If wrestlers were pizza toppings, which wrestler would make the best pizza topping?
What does that mean?
Well, it wouldn't be Randy, because he's a snake. You wouldn't want snake on your pizza.
Some people might like that.
You think so?
Sure.
Would make a good pizza topping. Not Jeff Hardy because of the face paint. A lot of ink poisoning. Probably King Corbin or Baron Corbin, no. Because he eats so much meat and he's like a barbecue enthusiast and drinks so much whiskey. So that's like you're getting a whole 5-star barbecue. Although now he's just eating a canned spaghetti. So it's essentially you're getting canned spaghetti as your topping.
I don't know. I don't know who I would answer that with. I'm trying to think though.
Let's see. Riddle would get you high.
Probably. That's like just putting meat on pizza, I think.
Yeah.
There's an argument for Tyler Rust because Tyler Rust does like a lot of yoga and like he's very lean. Like venison.
Maybe. Oh no, the easiest answer, the best answer is Bobby Fish. Because, yeah, Easy. John Morrison would just get your pizza wet and soggy.
Um, Coming from the perspective of saying something along the lines of like, that man is so hot, like that man is so cute, I could just eat him up. I'm trying to think from that perspective.
Oh. See,
Well, it's another perspective.
okay. Well, my answer is either Bobby Fish or Ivar. Ivar's always eating those turkey, or is it turkey legs?
Mm-hmm.
So you're essentially just having turkey legs on your pizza.
Who's a man I find attractive? I forgot all of them.
There's also the bunny, having rabbit on your pizza. That's an option.
I could never eat a rabbit.
Yeah. Oh. What about like Bear Bronson or the Bear Boulder, having bear on your pizza?
You could make an argument for Orange Cassidy because people like pineapple on pizza. What's a little bit of
Orange on
citrus?
pizza.
I don't know. I don't eat pineapple on pizza, so
No. Oh God.
I don't know what pineapple on pizza loving people like because they're already.
Let's see. Hmm. Oh, Nikki Ash, just getting like ash on your pizza. Ugh.
Or eating butterflies.
Butterfly. Oh God. Um. Oh. Maybe like Biggie, like pancakes. Pancakes.
If you're not going to go with oranges, pancakes on top of pizza also sounds very weird.
That's just extra dough. It's extra dough on the pizza.
I'm trying to think, and I'm not getting anything.
I'm going through a list right now.
Maybe Cesar Bononi.
Bizarre. Like
I have no
Caesar
food
dressing.
connotations to tie this to. I'm not tying this to connotations. I'm just saying handsome and toned.
Surprised you haven't said Finn Balor yet. Is there like a chicken themed wrestler? A bird themed? There's Ivar's still my top pick right now.
The turkey that they had that Drew Gulak was dressed up as.
Oh God. Oh, get the name of that character.
It's gobbledy something.
Gobbledygooker.
Oh yeah.
Because it sounded like vaguely like a slur.
Well.
Maybe T-bar. Because that sounds close to like T-bone, like steak. Getting some like beef on your
Yeah,
pizza.
maybe.
T-bar.
Yeah. Or it could be like a T-bar column, which is just a column that's shaped like a T. But we won't talk about it like that.
No. Don't be ridiculous. We need like a solid answer though. We need a solid answer. Adam Page. Big whiskey. Or beer on your pizza.
Maybe. John Silver, because it's almost like Long John Silver's.
Just fit more fish on your pizza. Britt
Is there any
Baker.
way I can fit Lance Archer into this conversation?
Jake the Snake. Snake on your pizza.
But we're back to snakes. You already said the Viper wouldn't taste good on a pizza, so.
Yeah. Abaddon would not be a good topping. I feel like Brian Pillman Jr. probably would. Not for any food connotation.
I'll up you for Griff Garrison.
Griff Garrison would be so hairy. Be a really hairy topping.
Yeah, but like he's like beautiful and golden.
What about the Blade? I feel like the Blade would be a really good topping.
Okay. Yeah, I could see that.
Or Chuck Taylor. I could see him as a good topping.
Would you like to explain your logic there? Do you want to show your work?
I don't know. How about Fuego del Sol? That's just a hot pizza. That's a spicy pizza. You're just getting hot sauce in your pizza. That sounds good. Fuego del Sol.
Is that your final answer, sir?
Yeah, that's my final answer. Spicy pizza.
I'm sticking to Tyler Rust, but
I don't know why, but okay. Just getting rust on your pizza. Or a diamond on your pizza.
Okay. If I found a diamond in my pizza, I'd be like, all right, it's worth it.
Yeah, but you'd have to eat it. Will be the tastiest topping.
He'd probably be tasty.
What about moose? Moose.
Also lean like venison, so there we go.
Yeah.
I guess. I say that like I've had a moose before.
I feel like John Moxley would just be barbed wire on your pizza. That's all it would be.
Just metal shavings.
What about Luchasaurus? Luchasaurus would be good. I think it'd be really
very
good
rare tasting.
Yeah. All right, I'm saying
Exotic.
Luchasaurus. All right.
After going through all the ingredients, you finally chose one.
Yes, Luchasaurus is my pick. Yeah. All right. You want to close out the podcast?
I would love to. If you tuned in tonight, thank you so much. And if you tuned in the future, thank you so much. Happy Pita Day. I don't know. It'll be your little holiday. It'll be your little holiday.
Wait, we missed someone that would have been the perfect pizza topping.
Who?
Rosemary.
That's
There you
annoying.
go. There you go.
Okay, so please tune in on Friday. We'll be talking about SmackDown and ideally Naomi on SmackDown and ideally Becky Lynch on SmackDown.
Probably not.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we might. You never know. So, please tune in. We'll be here. It'll be fun.
Yes. Thank you all for watching. Check us out on YouTube, The Pinfall Podcast. Our Twitch is twitch.tv/The Pinfall Podcast. If you want to join in the live show, you definitely should. We can chat with you during the show, and you can ask us questions in real time. Our Twitter is @Pinfall Podcast. I'm at the Mark Cameron. Liz is at Eliza Elaine23, and we'll see you on Friday for Friday Night SmackDown.